In this video, I'm going to show how HEC-ResSim handles multiple minimum release rules. I'm going to put these minimum release rules in the conservation zone. So I'm going to add a new rule, and I'm going to just call this min 10. It's going to operate the release from the reservoir, simple release function again. It's going to be a function of date, and we're doing a minimum release of 10 CFS. I'm going to apply that. And now I'm also going to add another rule, and I'm just going to call this min 15. It's going to be from the reservoir. It's a simple release function. And again, just a function of date. Another minimum release rule. And in this case, it's going to be a minimum release of 15 CFS. And so HEC-ResSim prioritizes the rules, so whichever one is highest is going to be the highest priority. But that really only comes into play when you have a mixing of minimum and maximum release rules. So in this case, I have two minimum release rules. So what HEC-ResSim is going to do is it's going to take the higher minimum release, and by doing so, HEC-ResSim is then able to satisfy both of these rules. So HEC-ResSim is always trying to satisfy the rules that you put on. The only time that priority comes into play is when you have some friction between the minimum and maximum release rules, and it has to pick one of the other, and it can't satisfy both of them. And again, remember that HEC-ResSim is trying to hold on to as much of the inflow as possible. It wants to hold on to all of the inflow that's coming in when it's in the conservation zone. So by putting in these minimum release rules, we're actually forcing a release to occur. So we'll hit OK. I do want to check the look back to make sure that I am starting in the conservation zone. Remember, top of conservation 75, so I am starting in the conservation zone at 73. So I'll go ahead and compute this, close it, and then take a look at the plot. And here you can see that I am releasing 15, so I have to hover over that. You can tabulate this also. Didn't want to hit that. When you tabulate, you can see that you have a flow out. This is the look back, by the way. Remember that the simulation starts on the 10th. Right, so I had a look back release of 500. But when the simulation actually starts on the 10th at 1300, we have an outflow of 15 CFS. Now that 15 CFS occurs up until the point when it reaches the top of conservation zone. At that point, it will then just release the inflow to hold top of conservation. So I'll be developing some more videos to show what happens when HEC-ResSim has multiple maximum release rules, and also to show the interaction between minimum and maximum and how that priority works. So thank you for watching this video.